And eventually aid organizations started to come to him from CARE and Oxfam and the United Nations, and they said to him, Professor Rogers, we've got a problem. We're going around the world in developing countries, and we're giving them new ideas, what they call innovations, boiling drinking water, high-yield rice seeds, birth control methods. And our adoption rates are around 4%. Only 4% of the villages that we go to adopt any of these things. So let's have a look at our communication. He said, fine. He travels around the world. He's looking at their communication, and what he finds is a regular pattern. What they do is they move into a country, and they find a subject matter expert who speaks the local language and usually also speaks English. They train that individual. They give them a series of, they were mostly done on flip charts in those days, of diagrams of, these are germs. They're too small to see, but they're germs, and they're in your drinking water, and you boil the drinking water, and that kills the germs, and all this is done on this display. This individual packs up his stuff, heads into the village, sets up this thing, gives a little presentation. All the villagers come. They're always very polite, very excited to see him. The whole thing goes down really well, just fine. And then he leaves, and you get around 4% adoption. Rogers looks at this and he says, hey, like, you guys are missing a key thing here. There's a key thing in the persuasion literature that we know about how words change behavior, and you're missing it. And what you're missing is this guy. This guy's the chief. You don't want to take your show to here. You want to head this person needs to speak to this person, one-on-one, individual, informally, and say, look, here's what we're thinking of doing. Here's what we want to happen in your village. We want them to start boiling drinking water. What do you recommend? What do you think is the best way to do this? How should we approach these people? Do you want us to come? Do you want us not to come? Do you want to do it? And then you listen to these people and you follow their advice. Adoption rates when you do this, around 60%. Not 4, not 4, not 5, 60. This change rocked the whole world of communication because the differences were so huge. Translated into our world. Here's the CEO. What do? We parade that guy out directly to the employees. We do town hall meetings. We run him through big auditoriums. We get all the employees together, and he announces the change. We put him video streaming on the website. We give him a blog. We give him emails. We drive the change from him. Hey, there's a 50-year history of that not working, both in the underdeveloped world and the organizational world. What about this guy? Well, you ask, who the heck is that guy? That guy's this guy, the supervisor. Because what we know about communication is that he, and only he, has the power to use words to change these people. So what makes sense is to go to him and say, here's the change we're thinking about. And now you look at those pages that I showed you earlier, those briefing pages, the ones, for example, in the call center, and you say, here are the kind of changes the call center's thinking about making. How should we tell this to your employees? What do you recommend? Do you want to do it? How do you think it should be done? And then you follow his advice. It's simple.